Hi everyone. So welcome to day 8, and that is our last session of SOA Testing and Automation. Thanks to all of you who remained till the last session. Okay. So I will share my screen and I will start from where we had stopped on in class 7. So it is very tough to stay interested in anything for 8 long sessions. Okay. So I appreciate all of you who are still with me. So when anything means it is my experience of training. Okay. When I propose any free class of anything, okay, anything. So in the beginning, 100 people shows the interest, but till the end, only 5 to 10 people stays. Okay, we have better number actually. I was expecting less than 10 till the last session, but I still have more than 10, I guess, right? So I appreciate all of you to stay interested for staying interested till the end. So let me share my screen and SOAP UI. I hope you all can see my screen. Can anyone confirm? If you can,
Yes.
Yes.
okay. Thank you for confirming. Okay. So in our last session, we had seen how to create a project, test suite, test case, and test steps. We were writing a Groovy script to read the metrics, right? Data from Excel sheet, passing it to our main scenario and running the scenario. Till there, we have covered in detail, right? Everything in detail, right? And we were discussing now how to capture the report of our execution, right? We executed all our test cases. How many test cases we had? We had 9 test cases, right?
Yeah.
Remember? So let me open that for you. So we were having inside SIT, we were having our data source. So in our data source, we had 9 test cases, but when we were executing inside our automation, we were able to see the last execution only inside our scenario, right? When we run our services, let me start my services first. So when we ran our main script, automation script, it ran all the 9 test cases, right? See, the scenario will keep on running, right? See, if you are passing, if you are failing, the color is changing, right, of the scenario. Can you see the mouse where I'm hovering?
Yeah.
Yes. So it is continuously running and it will only stop after the 9th row execution, right? So execution is done. And when we open the scenario, we can see only the 9th iteration result, right? Or 9th iteration input parameters, right? See, consumer ID is being passed at A, B, C, D, right? So which was that case? It was our 9th case, right? When we were passing consumer ID as A, B, C, D. So what happened to other test cases? We want the response of that as well, right? Whether those passed, which failed, which passed, we want to see that. So for that, we have to capture the execution parameters, right? The request, response, everything, whether it got passed, whether it got failed, if it failed, why it failed, right? All those metrics we need to capture. So for that, I have created one another script, which is reporting a script, okay, report a script. So what is in that report script? I have already shown the overview of that in the last class, which I will discuss in detail today. Okay. So similarly, what we have done in our mains script, we have imported the libraries and classes which we have readily available in Groovy. Okay. So we have imported these. No need to try to understand anything. Okay. If you can just note it down somewhere. Okay. And you should only know what to import and when to import. Okay. Suppose you are going to use the Excel, you read from Excel. So you need this. When you are going to write to Excel, you need this. If you are going to read the project directory and the other related things, you need Groovy utils. If you are trying to read the JSON of the response, you need JSON slurper. Okay. When you want to read the current time, system time, you need simple date format, java.text.simple date format. When you are dealing with maps, the complex arrays, okay, which we have not covered yet, okay. But if you are going to handle any map, so you need hash map, okay. So you just need to know what to import and when to import. Okay, you no need to remember these things. You will find it in Google very easily. If you will just Google that what class I need, what library I need to use Excel in Groovy, you will get that you need to import this. Okay. So in report, what we had agreed on. So we have to think, right, what we are going to capture in the report. So in the last class, I told you what we are going to capture. So let me open the report template. Okay. So this already have the execution report. So let me close that. I will show you the template. Okay. I have saved it in the template as well, which is blank. So can you see that? Let me increase the font. Can you see that?
Yeah.
When you will share
Yes.
this report with someone else, okay, with the stakeholders, what they will need, okay, to understand. So they will need the test suite name, right? Test suite name we are keeping as the API name, right? Get customer info. So if you will share the report, they will ask, okay, for which API you are sharing the report, right? They may ask, right? So your report should have that information, in which environment you ran that, right? So you have run in SIT, you need to capture it. Timestamp, at what time the test was executed. You need to capture the timestamp also, because after 2 days, someone comes back and saying that you have not done a proper testing. Now the scenario is not working fine. So you should have evidence with the timestamp that I have executed at this time and I had got this response. Someone must have done after that. Okay. And I am not, I cannot be held responsible for that thing. So you should have evidence with the timestamp. Okay. Test case name, what test case you have executed, whether it was success test case, whether it was, so your test case have one name, right? Your test case, like without mobile number, without consumer ID, right? With alphanumeric mobile number, right? Mobile number with having less than 10 characters. These are the names, short names you have provided to your test cases. So these things also needs to be captured. With then what request you use, the entire request, right? Entire request, what you are seeing in the raw of the request, entire request, which endpoint you used, what method you used, right? It has a lot of informations, right? Which method you used, which protocol you used, what was the endpoint you have used, what was the mobile number you sent, what was the consumer ID used, right? Everything. So you will capture this request. Sorry, can you all go on mute, please? Let me mute everyone. Okay. Okay. Let me continue from here. So you need, sorry for this. You need to capture the request and response both, right? So in response side also, you will go to raw and capture the entire raw, because raw has two parts, header and JSON body. You need to capture everything. Okay. So in our report, we will capture everything: request used, response received, and what was the test result, whether it was passed or failed. And if it failed, what was the test failure reason? And how much time the system, the server took to respond to your request. So it is not needed as a part of functional. You can skip this thing, but it is always good to have this, so that the person who is going through your report will come to know, okay, that the performance is also good. Okay. And if they need to enhance it, they will decide based on your execution. If any unusual time it is taking, right? Suppose it is supposed to be responding in 200 microsecond, but now it is taking 1,000 microsecond. So the stakeholder will see it, and he will highlight it to the performance testing team, which is not your team, that why you are not tested it correctly. Okay. So you are not liable to keep this, but it is good to have it, okay, in your report. So we have decided that what we are going to capture, right, in the report. And header we have already created, this Excel sheet we have already created, right? We have given it a name. We have given it a name, test execution.xls, okay? Test execution report.xls. right? And inside this, the seat name we have named it as, so you can rename it as per your need, okay? So I have named it as details, okay? So we have created this and kept it inside the reports folder of our root directory. What was our root directory? Demo, right? Wherever your XML file is. So it is inside demo folder. Demo is our root directory. So inside demo, we have created a reports folder, and inside reports, we have kept the seat which we have created with the headers, okay, for capturing the report. Now, so what we have is we are doing the same thing what we have done in the main script. We have imported everything, and we have just created one object for date, okay? We are not doing anything. We have just initiated the date class. Okay, we have created one object, and now we are creating another object with by referencing the simple date format function, and we are defining in which format we want the date. So we want in the format month, date, year means 4 digits year, 2 digits for date, 2 digits for month, and then hour, minute, and seconds, 2 digits of all, okay? So in this format, we want the date to be captured. So that's why we have created one object for that, okay? Now, similarly, we are creating one object for Groovy Utils, one and reading the project directory with the Groovy Utils object, right? This is what we have done in the main script as well. We are reading the environment also. We have defined the environment in our properties file. So in properties file, we are reading dollar properties has environment by context expand, right? Context expand dollar properties has environment. So it is going and reading the environment. Then we are creating our data folder. So we can name it as report folder, but mistakenly I have kept it as data folder. So let it be, okay? And we are using our root directory, which is demo, and inside that, where we have kept our file inside reports, right? And this is how the path is read inside the system // right? So demo / report /. So we have created a data folder address. And now we are creating a file reference, right, of our Excel sheet. Wherever we have our Excel sheet, with the help, we are creating a file reference of that. Again, the same thing, it is a workbook type. So we have passing the file reference to a workbook object. See workbook.get workbook at the file location. This is the file location, right? Excel file. Same way, what we have done till here, everything we have done in our main script as well, right? Now we are creating a writable, we are creating a temporary workbook, which is not a real workbook, but a temporary workbook, okay, inside the script. We have given a name, copy, okay, you can give it any name. And now what we have created, WB, we have already created, we have already read our already created Excel sheet. What we have already created, we have read it with the reference WB, right? And now with the help of the WB, we are creating a temporary file, okay? So what we are doing is workbook.create workbook and create a new folder with the reference of WB, okay? Got it? We are creating a new hypothetical workbook inside the script with the help of already created workbook, okay? So what it will do, it will clone that workbook, right? And it will create a reference of that workbook inside your script. Now we have read the sheet also, copy dot get sheet, and name of the sheet is details, right? I told you. What was the name of that sheet? Details, right?
Yeah.
Let me show it again for the people who don't remember. Name of the sheet was details, right? Same thing we did in while reading it also, right? We had created workbook and we read the sheet. Here also we are doing the same thing. We are reading the sheet, okay? But where we are reading in the temporary workbook, which is a hypothetical workbook, okay? Not the real one. Real one is here, WB, okay? Now we are detecting how many rows it has. So right now, how many rows it has? Right now, how many rows it has?
10.
Sorry?
Zero. One.
Zero, right?
Yes.
Means in a script it is zero means the number index is zero, but what is the count? One, right? One
Yeah.
row is there, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So we have got the row number, like get results, right? And get the rows. So one row. Then we are creating a writable cell, okay? A cell. Because we have to write in the cell. What in Excel, what is this? This is a cell, right? This is one cell, right?
Yeah.
In Excel sheet, we call this as cell, okay? The complete thing is seat. And inside this is a cell, right? So we have created a writable cell and we can give it any name, but we are keeping the name as cell only, okay? And then we are creating a label, just a variable for our use, okay? This has no meaning. We can give it a name XYZ also, okay? But we have created a variable which will use it, okay? So now we are using that label. What we are doing is we are creating a new label. So this is a object, okay, class. Inside JXL, we have imported JXL, right? Inside that we have a class, library label, okay, a function label. So we are creating a new object and we have already created a variable here. Inside that variable, we are creating a reference, new label at zero. So what is the zero? Column number zero, which is column number zero in Excel? Which is column number zero in Excel?
The topmost one, which has the headers.
This is the column, right? This is the column, horizontal ones.
Yes.
So A is the zeroth column, right?
Okay.
Right? Index starts with zero. For the script, index starts with zero. For Excel, it is one, and this is the first row. But when we go to the script, the index of this is zero, index of this is zero row. This is zero column. Got it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So where we have to write our first execution thing? Here. So what will the address of this? The blank one?
A2.
A2. But for a script, what it will be?
First
Row 1.
0, 1. 0, 1.
one.
0 column and row
For
number
one
1.
row.
Right? Are you getting it or not? For a script, it is 0,
Yes,
1,
yes.
right? Correct? So that is what we are doing. We are creating the reference at 0th column and row num. What is row num? We have created a row num right here. Right? What is
Yeah.
the value inside it? What is the value inside it? Get rows, total number of rows in our sheet. How many rows were there? How many rows is currently there?
One.
1. So the value is 0,
Zero.
1, right?
Yeah.
And what we are writing in that? Test runner dot test case dot test suite dot name. What is the name of the test suite? Get customer info, right? So we are now in the process of writing the test suite name in Excel sheet, cell number 01. Now we had created a writable cell reference. We are using that writable cell label. Now we are writing whatever is inside the label. We are now writing it into the cell, right? And in debt results, what was debt results? We had created a reference of details, right? Debt results. We are now writing it into that add cell. This was all inside the cell script, right? Now we are actually writing it in the debt results. So your record will get printed. What will get printed here? So let me copy this. So by executing that script, now here, this will get printed. Okay. Now, again, we will go and do for the first column and row number is still 1, right? And we are writing environment. What is in the environment? The value which it read from properties file environment. What is there? What is the value?
SIT.
SIT.
SIT. So it will write SIT. Sorry, let me close this. Okay. It is again opening and confusing us further. So this will get printed in the second column, right? First column means 0. This was 0th column. This is the first column, right? And row number is still 1, right? 0, 1. Then again, we will go to the second column, okay? 0, 1, now 2. In the 2, what we are writing? sdf.format.date, right? Format date. So this function will fetch your system date, whatever time is there in your laptop or desktop or whatever device you are using. It will take that system time and it will print it in which format? SDF we have defined, right?
Yeah.
The format we have defined for SDF. In this format, it will copy the name month, DD, YY. So what it will capture? So month is 12, date is 28, year is 2022, space, hour is I think it is 20. Then what was the format? Colon mark. Then minute, suppose it is 30. Then colon mark, second is suppose 50. In this format, the date will be saved. Then we will go to the third column. And what it will capture? See, the same function which is being used. You are not doing anything. Only this value, the number of column you are changing, and what you have to print there, that you are changing. So now what we are trying to print is context.expand. Means we are trying to read from the another test step inside that same test case, right? And we are going to iteration data. What is iteration data? Inside the same test case, iteration data is the name of the another step. So we want the data from iteration data, and which property we want? Test case name, right? So test case name, we have written through the main script here. So we will copy this name. Our script will copy this name and print it in Excel sheet in this column. Got it?
Yeah.
Then again, it will go. So now we have to write in next cell, what we have to write? Request used, right? Request used, the entire request, the raw request. So for that, we created a variable request message, and now we are reading the request. So test runner dot test case dot get test step by name. These things are not going to change even after 10 years. Okay. So memorize it, note it down somewhere, and you can use it ever. Okay. What is the statement to get the raw request? This is not going to change. Okay. And it is very simple. This is the test runner where you are writing the test case. This is a script. From this test runner, you are going to test case. From test case, you are reading the test step name, get test step by name, right? By index also you can get it. But we are getting it by get test step by name. And what is the name of the test case? Scenario. Test step scenario, right? Here only we have our request and response, right? Raw request and response. Correct?
Yes.
Yes. So we went to get scenario, and now we are getting that get test request dot get response. So this is very confusing, okay, for new people, that we want request, why we are reading the response. Okay, but this is the format which SOAP UI needs. Okay, so get test request, because why? I will show you why. Okay, so let me open any request. So in our first project also we had created manual test cases, right? So let me open it. So we have not ran it yet, right? Do you see any response here right now? Here, nothing is there, right?
No.
Right? So you have not ran this request yet. Go to the request side. See the raw. Raw is also blank. So when the raw request is getting generated, when you send it to the server, see, when we ran it, then only the raw response got generated. Right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's why that SOAP UI will run the request first, it will get the response first, and then read the raw request data from there. Now, is it clear why we went to the get response while getting the raw request?
Yes.
So now we have got the raw request. So it is in some different format, right? So you can see the format. It is multiple lines, right? A lot of spaces and lines in between, right? Right?
Yeah.
So now what we will do is we will convert it into a string. A string is nothing but a text. So when you will do some more, read more about the scripting language, you will come to know about the data type. So data type can be anything. When you read the mathematics, right? So you read about the numbers. So numbers, we call it as integer, okay? When you use decimal points like 2.50, right? 2.68, right? So it becomes double or float, okay? Right? So that is a data type. You already know that if you have studied mathematics, we call numbers as integers also, right?
Yes.
And when we use decimal, when we add decimal in the integers, we call it as double or float. And in English, any string, right? We call it as text. So in scripting or programming, we call it as a string. Okay. A simple alphabet A or B or C, if we send only that, we call it as character. So it is not a rocket science, right, to understand these things.
Yeah.
In English language also we call it as characters, right?
Yeah.
I hope it is clear, right? So we are passing it as a string so that we can store it simply, okay? As a string. Right now it is in raw format, some different format. So what we are doing is we have created another variable raw request, and now we are passing the request message which we have now into a string. So we have created a new object by referencing a string class, and we have passed our entire request message there. So now raw request has the same request message but in a string format. Okay, same thing. Now we have passed the raw request in the fourth column, row number 1. So our entire raw request will get copied where? In our report. Close this thing and open the scenario. So there is some problem. Let me open this again or refresh it again. Reload the project. Open. So this thing can happen, okay? When you're clicking on something and it is not loading, so you need to refresh the entire project. Right click here and reload it. Okay, reload the project. So where we were in scenario. So let me run this first. Okay. So what it will do, it will go to the raw, will copy it and paste it in your reporting. Okay, here the entire raw will get copied. Okay. So right now it is showing only get, but when you will click it, or let me expand it for you. Like this. Okay, so the entire request. So right now I have not converted it into a string, so that's why it is copying. You are seeing it in multiple lines. Okay, now same thing, it will go to the response and copy from response as well and paste it into the another one, right? Same thing I have done in the script. I will show you afterwards. So in the response, what it has done is, see, so we have already read the request here, right? Now the same thing it will do for the response. We will read the response by this statement. Same statement, but only at the end, instead of get raw request data, we will get raw response data. Okay. And again, we will pass it in the Excel. Now, request captured, response captured. Now our main script already has done the assertion, right? You remember? In our
Yeah.
main script, we have already created one assertion error array, and we have stored everything in this array, right? If date of birth was not matching, we have stored the error in this array, right? And the entire thing we have printed in iteration data here, right? Sorry, not in iteration data, in assertion status here, right? Whether it passed, if it has passed, the test failure reason we were inserting as NA, and if it has failed, the failure reason also, we were printing the assertion error and converting into a string, right? You remember this thing?
Yeah.
Right. So now we are reading this from the assertion data and passing it into the column number 6. First, the status of test result and then the test failure reason, right? And at the end, we are reading the test request dot response dot time taken, right? So what it will do is, so we are reading the response time, test runner dot test case dot test steps, scenario dot test case dot response dot time taken. So this thing is a static statement. You can save it somewhere. By the time you will use it for the 5th time or 6th time, you will be very comfortable with all these things. Okay. So this is just a syntax for SOAP UI. You need to understand that we are in test runner, we are going to a test case, we are going to a test step, which test step we are going to scenario, then we are going to the test request, dot response, and time taken. Very simple, right? Very simple. One by one, hierarchy wise, we are going and reading it from there. Ruby is very simple if you will try to understand. It is just like a normal language, like me and you are communicating with each other, right? Just these dots and these statements you need to remember, okay? So we have captured the time also, and now we have written it in the Excel sheet. Then what we are doing is, we have till now we were writing everything inside a hypothetical script inside the script. Now at the end, we are doing copy dot write. So it will write everything in the actual Excel sheet now. And then, very important, after using it, we will close the Excel, copy dot close. If you will not close, the Excel will get corrupted. Okay, so we will close the Excel. So now our automation suite is complete. But by the time you are doing this automation, your developer updated the status in Jira. Suppose in Jira, your developer, let me open a new window. So you have already logged the defect, right? You remember we have logged the defect for DOB and improper HTTP status code, right?
Yeah.
Remember? So by the time you are doing all the automation, your developer commented that so he has, suppose I am the tester, defect is fixed, please retest, and he will assign it back to me. So this is this was assigned to whom? Developer, Rasmi, right? So he will assign it to me now. He will send back the defect to me. So I will ask him, okay, I will ping him or something. Okay, it is fixed when you want me to test it. Okay, sometimes developers, what they do, they fix it in their local system and they close the Jira, okay, without deploying it into the SIT server. So you will be in the same team. Now developer, tester, scrum master, product owner works very closely, right? Very closely. Not like the waterfall method when the testing team and development team was different. Now everything is inside one Scrum team. You remember Scrum?
Yeah.
Right? So everyone sits together. So right now in COVID scenario, everyone is working from home, but still they used to communicate a lot throughout the day. Okay, and everyone is only a ping away. Okay, in the any communicator. So you can discuss with the developer. Okay, what we have fixed. So now I will unshare my screen. Let me fix those defects. Okay, and then I will share back again. Okay. Just give me a minute. I will fix those defects what were there earlier. So now I have fixed the defect. Okay. So right now I am the only one person who is developer, who is the tester. So everything I am doing for you, but in the real time project, the developer will fix it for you, and then he will close the defect, and then he will assign the Jira task, the defect back to you, okay? That it is fixed, please test. So now you have got that, means, okay, he has fixed it, okay? So what you will do, you will again open your manual test case first, okay? Which we have created, right? First thing you will validate manually first before running the automation suite, okay? No machine or no script can replace the human beings, okay? So always trust on your intellect first before trusting any technology, okay? You are far, far superior than any machine or any computer, okay? So let's test this. So now we have all again analyzed. So now DOB looks fine, right?
Yeah.
Earlier, when we logged the defect, remember when we logged the defect, we have captured the response, right? What was coming in the response? The month was also coming, right? Which was not expected. The date was also coming, which was not expected, right?
Yeah.
That is what was discussed, right? If you open the requirement, we had a clear-cut requirement that help desk should not be able to see the date of birth and DOB should be in the format of MMYYYY only, right?
Yeah.
Based on that only, we have logged the defect, and now that defect looks fine. So what we will do is we will capture the response now. Always capture the raw response, okay? Because header is also a very important part of the response. So don't miss out on capturing that. So now again, we will validate all the fields again, not only DOB, okay? We will validate all the things against the swagger and the requirement again. It may be possible while fixing this, he has injected some other defect now, okay? So don't only test what was failing, you have to test entire thing again, okay? So validate all the fields and see whether everything is correct or not, the status code is correct or not. If everything looks fine, copy it, go to the Jira, your defect, okay? Inside that, go into the comment section and mention, tag that developer, everything looks working as expected. Now, closing the defect. Response received for your reference and paste the entire response here. Okay, comment it. And what you will do? You will close it, mark it as done, right? This defect is done now, right?
Yeah.
So you will make it as done. So now the status of yours, see here it is showing it as done. This defect is striked off. This is fixed. But still there is one more defect and developer is working on that. So meanwhile, we will keep on doing our automation work. So our automation is done. So now let's run it and see, okay? So let me delete all the previous records from my reports. So I already have this report, right? Let me close the already open file. I have already one file with the same name open. So let me close that. Let me delete what I have created here. Close that, save, and let's open the report now. So you can see we already have the reports. While creating the automation, I have created this. So let me delete everything here, okay? Otherwise you will get confused. Delete. One thing is still there. Okay, many things were there. Those things were hidden. So delete. Okay, so this is blank sheet now again, right? What we had created in the beginning with the headers only, correct?
Yeah.
So let's close it. While running the report, keep the Excel sheet closed, okay? If it is closed, then only it will be updated. Otherwise, it will not get updated, okay? The same resource cannot be used by you in the computer and by the script at the same time, right? Correct or
Yes.
not? Correct or not? So let's open our main script. In main script, what we were doing is we were running the request, we were asserting it, and at the last we were calling the report script as well. Test runner dot test case dot test step by name report script dot run, right? So we were running the, so we need only to run this main script. So let's run it. It is done. All the 9 test cases ran. So now let's open the report and see how it looks like. See, your execution report got captured, right? Can you
Yeah.
see it?
Yeah.
What details it has? Your test suite name, your environment, timestamp. See, what is the current time right now? 8:42, right?
Yeah.
And at 17th second, you ran this test step. It got captured. Name of the test case, first test case, TC001 success, case 1. This is the response, this is the request which was used. Can you see that? The entire request is coming here, right?
Yeah.
Method, URL, mobile number, consumer ID, everything is there, right?
Yeah.
In the response, again, the headers and the entire mobile number, customer ID, everything is there, right?
Yeah.
And as per our assertions, it is passed. And if it is passed, there is no failure reason. And the response it took is 33 milliseconds. Okay. Meanwhile, your developer now pinged you when you were analyzing all these reports and all that the second defect is also fixed. So this Rasmi will again comment that Salish, this is also fixed. Please retest. So let me fix it, okay? I will again unshare my screen and fix the defect actually, okay? So I will go in Rasmi mode now and I will fix the defect for you guys, okay? So which test case was failing? I don't remember which one where I had injected the defects intentionally. It is number having more than 10 characters, but having less than 10 characters. Okay. So now the defect I have fixed. Let me share my screen once again. Can you see my screen now?
Yeah.
Okay. So the defect is fixed. So he commented in Jira that defect is fixed. So we will again go and see what defect we have raised. So what was the defect? So instead of 400 bad requests, we were getting 500 internal server error, right? You remember? We were
Yeah.
getting 500 internal server error, right? Right?
Yeah.
So first, what you will do? Will you run the automation suite?
No. Manual.
First, you will test manually. Never trust script or any machine more than yourself. Okay? If you will do that, you will be in trouble. Something will be missed because the script is as good as you, right? You have written the script. And while writing a script, if you have done any mistake, you are also a human being, right? You can do mistake while writing the script. If you have not asserted it correctly, right, your script will not detect any defect. So first time, please manually test it, okay? So
Yeah.
when we will test it, let's run this scenario where we are passing mobile number more than 10 characters, right? See, how many characters are there? Can you see? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10,
11.
and 11, right? 11 characters. So now we will go to raw and see. So correct, 400 request is coming. That request is coming. But we will not stop there itself. We will again validate the entire thing, whether the result is coming as per schema or not. What was in the schema? Remember? What was there in the schema? For 400 bad requests, there was a schema defined. The error, right, should be, enum should be gateway error, right?
Yeah.
Or backend error or authorization error. So it should be one of those. So it is fine. And again, for source, again, it should be one of these: schema gateway, FWIC API gateway, security gateway. So is it one either of these among these? Yes, a schema gateway. It is correct. Then we will go to our, where we will go? We will go to our user guide. You remember? I told that all the standard error codes and description will be defined in the user guide, right? We will have one table. And in that table, all the standard error codes and description will be there. Remember?
Yeah.
I created one table for you, right? Like this. All the error codes will be there in this table in user guide. So we will validate again whether these error codes and description are as per the enterprise standard or not, right? We will think that why we are doing it again and again, because while fixing this, developer may make some other mistake. And because of that, some other defect may come, okay? Which was not coming in the first phase of testing. Okay, if that is the case, you will again raise the defect. You will say that this defect is not closed. While fixing this, you have injected one more defect. So I'm raising one more defect now. Okay, don't worry that we have already reached the last day of the sprint. We cannot pass anything with defects. Okay, even if we are not able to complete what we have committed in the sprint. Got it? Sometimes developer may pressurize you that it is the last day, I will fix it after the sprint. Please ignore it for now, don't report it. But politely tell him that means I cannot do that. If anything will happen, I will be held responsible for this. So please fix it. Okay, I will talk to the Scrum Master that this has happened on the last day, and that's why we are missing it. Okay, so no one will blame, no one will say anything to you. Okay, that is what a good tester should do. So now let's test it. We have tested it is working fine. So now let's run our automation suite once again. Let me close that Excel sheet. Okay, it is still open, right? If we run our script, it will not write anything because it is being used by our system, my laptop right now. So we have to close it now. Don't save and close it. Quit the Excel sheet. And now again run our main script. So it ran, right? Completed. You can see the status here also, okay? You can see the status here also. So you can run from here as well, okay? So it ran. Let's go back to the report and open it. And let's see. You see, earlier it was having test case. So let me do the formatting like this, okay? So see, test case 1 to test case 9 was there earlier, right? Now again, see the time. What is the time? 2050?
Yep.
So this is our current execution. I started with TC1 and see everything is passing, right?
Yeah.
So what we will do is we will save this file. We will save this file, save as SIT underscore test execution report underscore 28 December 2022. Okay. And we will save it with a different name and we will delete the last execution report. We will keep only the latest execution run report. Okay. We will delete other things. Now it has the last report, right? We will save it and we will attach it in our Jira. Okay. So we have already tested and we have to close that defect also now. So this was working fine. And we had this, we had one more defect, this one. right? So this is also working fine. So we will tag Rasmi. It is now working as expected. Closing the defect, you can see the response below. Anything means there is no other specific format for this, just the information needs to be passed properly. So what we have tested, we have to pass the entire raw response again. Okay, now the 400 byte request is coming. Okay, so we will paste it here and we will save it. And again, what we will do, we will make the status as done, right? This defect is done. So now if we'll go back here to our main story, so all your defects are closed. So now what you will do is you will go to SIT testing, you will mark it as done. And also you will make a comment here, SIT testing completed successfully. Okay. Test report attached in main story or user story. You can call it a story also, but you are beginners, so stick to the keyword, right keyword, main user story. And you have already marked that. Now just remove the flag because everything is working fine, right? So you can remove the flag, remove flag. Okay. So now you go here and see most of the things are completed, right? Your work is completed. And you have already told that I will attach the report in the main story. So you have to do that. You have to do that. You have to attach it in the main story. So here is the attach button. Go to attach. Browse the location where you have saved your report. Inside report, we have saved it as SIT test execution report 28 December 2022. Select it and attach it. So it got attached, right? See, it got attached here, right? So your work is done. Now you can comment in the main story, tagging your Scrum Master. Scrum Master. So I don't have any Scrum Master profile created. So suppose this is Scrum Master. Please communicate to consumers to start their validation. Consumers will also do their validation, right? Before accepting it. Now the story is done. Okay, a story is done. After that, the developer will also close this. So once the user will give the sign off, the Scrum Master or the lead developer or the product owner, okay, whoever, it depends who has that responsibility in your team, right? Will get the sign off from the consumer and they will make the status as done. So now every task is done, right? 100% completed. Then your Scrum Master will close this story and say that this story has been closed, right? So the story is done. Now go back to your Epic and you can see that your MA-1 is completed. Everything is done. Same thing, the other tester or you only will be testing this story as well parallelly, okay? Right? And suppose that is also done. Just suppose, okay? That is also done. So your Scrum is done. So you are on the last day now, okay? And everything is done. So last day, one more ceremony will happen. What is the name of that ceremony? When I was telling you about the sprint, so grooming is done, planning is done. Every day stand-up meeting was happening, right? That what you have done yesterday, what you are doing today, and if you are facing any impediment or not, right? Every day this meeting was happening in your sprint. Now on the last day, the demo will happen. Okay. So your Scrum Master will invite all the stakeholders, okay, to see what you have developed. So either developer or tester Generally, testers are asked to do the demo because they have all the information, right? So you will not show the automation to the stakeholders. You will create 4 or 5 test cases, important test cases, and in the demo, you will share the Jira story first. That hi everyone, we had taken this story as part of a sprint one or a sprint two, whatever sprint it is, and the need was to create one service for the need was to create one API for help desk where they can get the basic information of customer for validation purpose. Okay. And as a part of that requirement, we have developed one API, get customer info, and the basic it is fulfilling all the acceptance criteria, and it is working like this. And then you will come to your SOAP UI and you will run it, and so that when we are passing a valid mobile number and a valid consumer ID, we are getting a proper response. We are getting a proper mobile number, which is same as what we have passed. And we have already validated the customer ID, it is correct, and it is correctly fetching all the information. And when we are passing anything, any non-existing customer or any consumer ID which does not exist in the system, we are getting consumer related security error. So any unauthorized consumer cannot access our API. We are getting response. So if you have any question, you can ask. You will ask the stakeholder. Stakeholder may ask that, can you show me this scenario, that scenario, right? You should be ready with that. That they will ask, pass 11 characters of mobile number and show me whether it is working or not. So you will, what you will do, either you will open the test case if you have already created, or you will pass here itself that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0, 1, 11 characters of mobile number, and you will trigger the service and you will show, see, when I'm passing anything more than 10 digits, we are getting a proper error that mobile number should be exact 10 digits long. Stakeholders may ask you more questions. So if you have those answers, you can answer those. If you don't have any answer, you can ask that. I think our lead developer can answer it better, and you can call his name and ask him to clarify further. That is how you do a demo to the stakeholders. And if they feel that something else is missing in the implementation, they will give you a demo review. Okay. And based on the demo review, if anything needs to be enhanced, it will be taken again in the next sprint. Got it?
Yep.
Any question? Any question? Are you clear how the project runs, how the sprint runs now?
Yes.
So now your Scrum Master will go here and they will close the sprint. Okay. They will go to the roadmap. Okay. They will go to the roadmap and they will move it to the done. Okay. They will open this epic and they will mark it as done. Okay. Go to the board, sorry, go to the board and see it has already moved because we have marked that storage as done. So it is moved from to do. It was in progress when you have working on the task. Now you have marked as done. So it moved to done. So the sprint is closed. Okay, complete sprint. See here you will can click on complete sprint. So complete a sprint MA1, right? So what it is saying, a sprint cannot be completed as there are incomplete subtasks in the following issues. You remember we have forcefully closed this MA10, right? We have not closed the task of this, right?
Yeah.
So that's why it is giving us that error, and this which is valid also, right? So just for showing purpose, I have closed that. So if it is closed, you can successfully close the sprint. And what after closing the sprint? There is one more ceremony left. What is that?
Retrospective.
Retrospective. That will should happen on the first day of the next sprint. Okay, anytime, or on the last day of the current sprint as well after demo. After demo, when everything is done, on the last day in the evening, this can happen. What is retrospective meeting? All the team members will again join the call and a scrum master will ask only one question. What went well? What didn't go well? How we can improve? These 3 questions. If you think everything went well, you will say that means I am really happy with how our developers have supported me, how our lead developer helped me to get the test data. Okay, I want to appreciate that. But if we can get the test data more, means the speed of getting the test data will increase, it will be helpful for me. I can be able to close the defects more quickly, right? A story more quickly, right? So now based on that, your Scrum Master will note it down, action plan. We should try to get the test data before the start of sprint, right? Action plan will be created to further improve the process. So every team member will be asked the same question. What do you think went well? What didn't go well? And and
How
the
to
action plan, right? How to improve further, right? And the team will discuss about that, what is feasible, any improvement is feasible or not. So team members can give the suggestion. Again, a lot of discussion will happen. Almost for 30-40 minutes, this meeting will happen, right? And then you will create one action plan to further improve the process in your scrum team, right? In the next sprints. And this is how the team grows, team matures. By the time you will reach 20th sprint, 30th sprint, right? You will be, you will achieve everything, okay? You will be running in an ideal condition. This is how the sprint works, okay? And how the project runs in the company. So that was all which I had planned in this course, okay? There are a few more things which I want to share, but unfortunately, there are no free resources available in internet. So I won't be able to show you all those things. But whatever I have shared till now, if you practice those things, okay, if you practice those things, believe me, you will be having more than a 2 years experienced guy's experience, okay? And you can go in an interview and you can tell that you have worked for 2 years in a project. Nothing else happens apart from this, okay? What I have shared. The only thing you have not practiced, okay? So you practice it, you already know what is SOA testing, what is agile, how a sprint runs, right? How we write test cases, how we log defect, how we close defect, how we automate. I have given you a free framework in our Google Drive. I have uploaded the demo framework, okay? You will not find such framework anywhere on the internet. This is my challenge, okay? I have created for you. That is very basic, but still you won't be able to find anywhere. So use it, try to understand it, okay? Further enhance it, try to enhance it, try it 4 or 5 times if you can, okay? But suppose you want any further help from my side, okay, to practice few more APIs. So I can offer one more thing, okay? I can give you a proper project experience, okay? For 1 month, 2 month, where you will be testing and I will be reviewing your things so that you can write in your resume that you have worked in projects and you have completed few projects. So you will have a better feel of it if you want, okay? You can reach out to me anytime. But if you want to practice it yourself, you already have all the resources. You have free internet, not free internet, you're paying for it, but internet has all the information, okay? YouTube it, Google it, try it, okay? You don't need me actually. If you want, you can refer to my videos. You can use the resources which I have already uploaded in Google Drive and you can learn it, okay? But still anyone feels that he or she wants my any other support, any further support, or if you want to practice it more, okay, you can reach out to me or you can highlight it now also. If anyone wants to say something, you are free to do so. I am unmuting you all, okay? Give me a second. So you all are on unmute. You can unmute yourself and speak. Anyone want to say something before we close the call?
Thank you very much, Shailesh. It was really a wonderful experience. And the other day when I called you, it was really an eye opener. And yeah, like we'll definitely keep practicing more and more as and when we get time. At least 1 hour a day, if not more, because we all are like with busy with our lives as well. But then like 1 hour also we can, if we can give. I know holidays are coming up. Like we are in the holiday season, but then like probably I think probably from the beginning of the gen, we should be getting onto it like hardcore.
Mhm.
So, but yeah, we'll be definitely throwing you more and more questions, and if required, maybe as you said, like if you can give like a real life, real time project, we would be really blessed to have that.
So the API which we tested right now, okay, so that was very basic in nature and we have tested only get method, okay, but I can create some complex services for you, okay, and so see, means everything is needs money, right? Because if you want me to use the real Jira, right, so I need to subscribe to it, right, and that needs subscription money, right? Amount, some amount is involved. Similarly, if you want to learn Ready API, so SOAP UI is a free version, right? But there is a licensed version as well. If you'll go to soapui.org, so see Ready API. So you can try it for 14 days. So what we have done in our SOAP UI, we were reading the file, we were writing into the file, and we were doing the assertion, right? That is what we did, right? In our automation. What we did, we have read the file, Excel sheet, and then we added the assertion and we wrote into the file. In Ready API, the reading and writing is automatic. No need of any scripting. Only assertion you have to do, okay? That makes your life really easy. But why I didn't use Ready API for training is, if you will learn Ready API in the beginning itself, you will never learn Groovy. You will never try to learn Groovy, and when you will go into any project, you will struggle. Okay, because it may be possible that few of the teams, the telecom industry mainly, they still use the open version, open source version. They don't use Ready API licensed version. The banks use the licensed version mainly. Okay, so if you know the SOAP UI, you can learn Ready API in 15 minutes. Everything is same, and it further needs less scripting. Okay, but if you want to learn Ready API also, you can ping me. Based on the people I get, I can offer you a free course on Ready API as well. Okay, or if anyone wants to learn Selenium, okay, because now when you will go into the market, the companies may be searching for the resources who are multi-skilled, right? Not only SOA testing, the UI testing also, and Selenium is also equally easy. Okay, even easier than SOA, because everything is in front of you. You can see everything. Here you have to uh, think about the SOA, the services, right? You are not having an interface. If SOAP UI is not there, you cannot think of the APIs, right? How API looks like. Because we had one tool, you were able to see how to send the request and how to receive the response, right? Suppose this tool is not there, how you will feel the API? There is no other way. But for the UI, the Facebook, you are looking at it, right? It is much simpler to test the UI. If you want to learn Selenium, anything if you want to learn, if I get a considerable size of batch, okay, I can offer you a free course on that as well. Okay. So now it's on you, how you want to grow, how you want to learn. But if you want job, you have to practice. The service which you have taken in this course is very basic in nature. This course was only for extracting the interest in you, okay, or feeding the interest in you, okay. Now if you are interested, you can build based on the things which you have learned in this course, and you can practice those things. If you want any further resource, you can reach out to me. We can derive some mechanism to give you a real-time project experience, okay, if you want. Okay, so last thing before we close the call, I'm sharing my screen again. So only
Before
one
you
favor I'm asking you, okay, before we all disconnect, that please go to firstweekincanada.com. Okay, I have uploaded several videos. Please like and comment. That is all what I am expecting from you guys. Janil has already done that. No, no, not Janil. Jayesh has already done that in one of the posts. Okay, so like this, you can go and give your feedback. If you think that means what I have covered was rubbish, you can mention that. Okay, it was just a waste of time. I won't mind that. I will try to further improve myself if there was some gap in this course. Okay, so whatever you think, go to the videos in YouTube. Also, I ask for your comment, share, and like. Okay, so I have my own page. Few of you have must have seen that, right? So this is the channel First Week in Canada. Okay, you can go here and you can comment, like, share my videos, okay, if you want. Okay, again, there is no pressure. Okay, so if you want, you can do that. And I have started one more series, okay, Excel in Microsoft Excel. If anyone wants to learn that, you can watch these videos. I am going to cover all the features of Excel which are not in use so much, like, okay, just 2 more minutes. Like, suppose anyone didn't ask me question how these things are getting colored, right? Let me make it failed. Okay, failed. See, the color changed to red. How it is happening? Do you know?
Is it for lookup or something?
No. See, again, I'm making it past, right? And clicking somewhere else. Again, the color changed to green. If
Yeah,
I'll
so
make it
I think it's
anything other than passed or failed, right? Suppose I write yes, it will turn white.
is it because you have formulated the cell?
But how to do that? Do you know that? It is I have done the conditional formatting. But you can do the conditional formatting, but the same thing will not happen. You can highlight only one cell based on the value. How the entire cell is getting, the entire row is getting colored. So to learn those things, you can watch my videos on Excel in Microsoft Excel. I am going to cover such type of unknown features which are not in much use, but if you use it, it will enhance the reports and the data maintenance which you do in Excel. And whatever you do, either developer, tester, real estate, you are going to use Excel a lot. Okay. And if you know these features, your report and everything will look so cool. Okay. So if you want, you can follow this Excel in Microsoft Excel series. Right now, I have uploaded only one video, but going forward, there will be more videos in this series, and you will learn all those cool features of Excel. So without wasting any further time, bye everyone. Thanks for attending my course, and I hope we will be in contact. You can send me a friend request on Facebook. I will accept it all. Okay, and we will be in touch. Thanks everyone.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you,
sir.
Shailesh.
All
Thank you
the
so
best.
much,
Okay.
Shailesh.
Thank you
Much
so
All
much.
the
appreciated.
best.
Thank you, Shailesh. Thank you.
If you need any
Thank you.
suggestion for interviews or anything, you can reach out to me anytime on my WhatsApp. Okay.
For sure.
Just one last thing, like if you can please share the groovy thing as well, the groovy script.
Everything is there. Everything is there. I'm sharing my screen. You didn't see the Google Drive, I guess. Go to Google Drive. I have shared it already. Okay.
Is it in the SOA resource? It's okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh
So
yeah.
this
Now
folder I have shared, right? This folder I
yeah.
have shared. If you'll go to the SOAP UI projects, the entire demo folder is there, right? The
Yes.
entire data, SIT, everything is there. So you just go there and download this data file, data folder. Okay. Download. Sorry, not the data folder, the demo folder.
Remove.
Download the demo folder. If you will download it, it will get saved in zip format. Okay, you need to extract it. So so see, this is completed, right? So demo folder, it came here. If you will open it, it has everything. You just need to import this in SOAP UI. Go to SOAP UI, go to import, select this XML file, and the project will open in your SOAP UI.
Perfect. Okay.
Got it? All the script, main script, report script, everything is there. You already have one working framework with you. You can say tell to the interviewer that you have already developed one framework and how it works. It reads from Excel sheet. It does the assertion based on the test type. It does the different assertions. And again, it writes into the Excel sheet for the reporting purpose. This is your testing framework. Okay. So let me stop the recording unnecessarily. This YouTube streaming is becoming big. Okay. I got disconnected. Okay. There was some problem. Can you hear me now?
Yes.